Steve Kaufman. Today I want to announce my new routine, my new sort of concept of language learning, which I want to call 5 Days to Fluency. 5 Days to Fluency. Now, there's been a certain amount of discussion on the web about whether we can achieve fluency in 3 months, and there's a young gentleman in New York who has learned an astonishing number of languages in a few weeks, and there's Daniel Tammet who learns Icelandic in a week or 10 days, and so there are examples of, and of course Benny with his 3 months to some level in Chinese, we're not quite sure what. So what can we, so with all of this discussion about 3 months to fluency, I sat down and thought about it, and I decided that in fact it's 5 days. 5 days. Now you might say, well, first of all, what is fluency? I think that's the important thing to, first of all, to define. So I'll tell you what my view is. I think fluency means the ability to speak comfortably on a wide variety of subjects, to understand most of what is being said by natives in a conversation, to be able to participate in that conversation in such a way that the native speaker feels that you understand and is not at all concerned that you don't understand. And you don't have to ask the native speaker to repeat, and that includes talking about sports, politics, literature, philosophy, possibly not technical subjects like fixing your car, but a wide variety of subjects. And fluency, in my mind, refers to speaking. Because the fluency is flowing, it's the speaking. So I don't think we need to apply it across all skills. However, I think it's very difficult to be fluent without also being able to read well. It's not necessary that you be able to write well, but to be able to read well. And you can make mistakes and still be fluent, in my opinion. And I have done business with many people from many countries who are very fluent, who have no difficulty doing, who are very effective, who express themselves better than many native speakers, and who are fluent, therefore, but still make mistakes. So making mistakes is not the issue. So that is fluency. Now, why would I say 5 days to fluency? Well, one reason is it sounds good, F, like 5 days to fluency. It kind of flows. That's one good reason. But seriously, I also believe it. And I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove that I can do it. And I'm going to do it with Czech. Now you're going to say, well, you've already been studying Czech. Well, exactly, that's the point. So I'm going to explain what I mean by 5 days to fluency. And that is this. I believe that in learning a language, we have to put, as you all know if you've been following my channel, we have to put a lot of emphasis in building up our language potential. That is our ability to understand, our familiarity with the language, our vocabulary. We review grammar in different ways at different times without ever trying to ace it, but it's all helping us acquire a sense of comfort and confidence and a potential in the language. But that doesn't mean yet that we can speak. And fluency means the ability to speak. Now, I believe that if you prepare yourself properly, that if you then go to the country or put yourself in a situation where for 5 solid days you are totally immersed in the language. You speak the language, you hear the language, you read the language, but particularly you speak it because you've been doing a lot of listening and reading. Now you've got to be in a situation where you have to speak it 8 or more hours a day. Those are the key 5 days. Now, for that to be successful, you have to prepare yourself. So, lots of input. You can even do some dry runs of a day or two where you're doing nothing but reading in your target language. You can have some discussions, as I'm having some online discussions in Czech, but I'm stumbling terribly. I mean, I really can't put too many words together. But you have to do that, and you do that until you reach the point where you think, now I'm good enough. And this is the key point, that when I say I go to Prague, I've got to say, within 5 days, I've got to be able to hold up my end of a conversation on just about any subject. And so I've got to be confident that I have reached, that level in my preparation. Or conversely, I've now set that as a goal because I'm going to Prague in the first week of October, and I want to prove that I can put enough effort into preparing myself so that 5 days there, I'm going to be able to catapult myself into fluency. Now, the next thing you have to do is you have to organize, and this is what I'm going to try to do for my visit in Prague, you have to organize conditions, whatever conditions are necessary, so that you can be speaking the language all day long. You can't just show up in the country and expect that you're going to be able to find people to talk to. So I have to find friends, people I know, tutors on Link, people who follow my blog, anyone I can find that I can meet up with in Prague so that for 5 days I can speak Czech with these people. Maybe I will enroll, for example, if you can't find anyone, maybe I'll make an appeal here on my channel. Who in Prague is willing to spend some time with me? Maybe I have to pay for private lessons. Maybe I have to go to school. But I have to be submerged, immersed in Czech for 5 days. Okay, so I have to prepare for it, and I have to make sure that the conditions are there that are going to enable me to do it. Now, the third thing, of course, is the follow-up. Because the 5 days to fluency, it doesn't mean that on day 5 you're fluent. You'll make a major breakthrough, a major step forward, but I have always found that in language learning, there is this gestation period. It's like baking bread in the oven. So you make a major step forward during these 5 days, but you will find that the impact of these 5 days will continue for quite a while. So after you return, then you will continue maintenance activities, reading and listening and occasionally speaking, and you'll find that you will continue to improve in your degree of fluency. So, I mean, obviously, if you have 3 months to spend instead of 5 days, you'll do even better. But I like the idea that you focus on this 5-day total immersion. You make all the preparations necessary in terms of your language study beforehand, in terms of the circumstances that will prevail while you're there so that you do get that solid immersion, and then the maintenance work that you do after the fact. So there you have it. That is my 5 days to fluency program, and Czech will be the first test of this. I've been at Czech now for about 8 months, off and on, between, leaving it to travel to Australia, doing a bit of Russian here and there, but I'm on my Czech, and I'm going to crank it up a bit, although I am interspersing it with Russian. I think as I get closer to October, I might stop doing my Russian, focus on the Czech, the objective being that when I hit Prague for 5 days, I'm going to speak nothing but Czech, and as a result, I will convert myself from someone who stumbles in the language, understands it quite well, but stumbles when speaking, into someone who maybe not on the 5th day, but soon thereafter will be able to say, I am fluent in Czech. We'll see what happens, and I look forward to your feedback. Bye for now.